Hello, wanted to make a video today to let you look at this subplatter and bearing that I've got for sale at the moment. And before we have a look at my version, let's have a look at a stock subplatter and bearing from a Rega turntable. Okay, let's have a look at the subplatter first. So we've got a stainless steel shaft and it's moulded onto, well rather, there's a one-piece moulded subplatter moulded onto the shaft. So we've got the record spindle and the spacer that centres the platter on the subplatter, all moulded in one piece. It's ribbed to try and give it some extra rigidity. And we have a look at the bearing sleeve. It's machined out of brass, one piece of brass. It's got a ball bearing at the bottom for the end of the shaft to run on, and it's threaded with a nut and washer on the bottom, and that you just tighten that up and it bolts through the plinth to hold the subplatter in place. Okay, put that to one side. Let's have a look at my version. Now this could be used in a Rega turntable, or it could be used in your own custom turntable. You could easily integrate it into your own design, so it's a useful item. Let's have a look at the subplatter first. So it's machined from 6082 aluminium alloy, and we've got a 316 marine grade stainless steel shaft and record spindle, and you can see on the bottom of the shaft we've got a silicon nitride ball embedded into the bottom of the shaft there, and I'll explain why that's there in a minute. And there's your spacer to centre your platter on the record spindle. Okay, let's put that to one side. Let's have a look at the bearing sleeve here. Machined out of 6082 again. We've got marine grade stainless steel nut and washer, much larger than the standard item, and I find this gives extra rigidity to the sleeve when it's bolted into the platter. This doesn't have to be over tightened, by the way, because the sleeve, it just has a slight shoulder on the top which holds it in place, so you don't need to over tighten these, otherwise you'll end up pulling your sleeve through the turntable's plinth. The sleeve is lined with a low friction material called Delrin, which is polyoxymethylene plastic, engineering plastic. It's very slippery. It has a very low friction material, so by using this material we're able to keep friction down to an absolute minimum. It has two liners, one at the top and one at the bottom. There's a space in between which fills with oil, so you've got a reservoir of oil in the bearing, and it also minimises contact with the edge of the shaft. If we look at the standard design, the whole shaft is in contact with the sleeve, whereas on this one it's just the top and the bottom. There's a Delrin thrust plate on the bottom, and basically that's a flat plate that enables the silicon nitride ball to run on that plate. Okay, let's spin them up and see how it runs. So put it together. I'll spin them both up to it's not a scientific test, but it'll illustrate that the bearing runs well. So I'll start mine up first to give it a head start and start the Rega one. Oh, let's just do that test again. Add spinning tops there, so start mine up and then I'll start the Rega one up. I'll just hold the bottom. So as you can see, my design, it's still running, so it illustrates that it's basically a very efficient bearing, and you can see the gyroscopic action. It's still running now. So okay, I hope that illustrates the function of the bearing and subplatter, so it gives you a better idea of what you're dealing with, and it's better than just looking at a few illustrations. So okay, more videos soon.